what type of conversation will this be?
It's an
Can she ask
AMA,
more questions?
bro.
Yeah, I told her she can ask more questions. Okay,
An AMA.
we're live.
We are live. Meeting is now live on YouTube. What's up, everyone?
What's
Who is
up,
here?
YouTube?
Which is
If
just
you're here yet,
just you and me this time. Let me
let me
share it
get
with
the
the group.
link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, let me share this right here. Okay, it's the links in the chat.
Yo, your YouTube channel's growing pretty fast.
I know. I was like, dang. And I was like
143?
live
Like
streaming drunk yesterday.
I knew something was up.
No, I was like, I went to my office this morning. I was like, damn, I drank that whole bottle of rum. That's how you know I'm half Dominican. I don't maybe look
You
in.
drank the whole damn.
It was not okay. So it was not. It was already like one fourth done.
Mhm.
But even that's still like I don't drink alcohol. Generally, like a glass of wine here and there. That's it.
Yeah.
You know.
Hmm.
Um, I am not a drunk, guys. I promise. Spur of the moment. Live streaming with Dre. What do I say? Ask us questions.
Yeah, ask
Ask
any
us.
questions.
Ask us anything. Devil face.
Stop talking real quick. I just
What?
want to see. I want to see if I could see the space that you were talking about earlier.
There's a freaking space and it kills me. I think I'm just going. I think I'm crazy. I mean, I know I'm crazy.
No,
But
I think I actually see it now.
right? Okay, I'm not crazy. Oh my god, thank you.
Yeah, I actually
There's a
see it.
space.
There is a space.
Right? It's just I want it to look cleaner and I don't know. And then also like I want to get my logo on the left-hand side. How do you do that? You know, instead of the Zoom logo? I'm sure there's a way to do that. I'm certain there is a way.
You could get your logo on the side. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know how to do it over. Well, you have your like your favicon.
Really? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna throw it in the Slack group too. Or do yeah, I'm gonna throw it in.
Yeah, I'm giving it to people.
Channel. Live streaming with AMA live stream with Dre. Come through. AMA live stream with Dre. Come through. All right. Do some rapid fire stuff. All right, cool. Cool. All right, so I think you and I are the only ones watching right now. Okay, but you
All
know,
right, so
wait
let's.
for everyone to come in. Let's
So
let's
I'm gonna.
yeah, go
I'm,
ahead and introduce yourself.
what's going on, guys? If you don't know me, my name is Dre, or Dre
That's
Sean,
what's
or
up, Dre?
Dre Sean Ryan. I'm the only person you know with three names in their name, right? So I have Dre,
Dre, Sean, Ryan.
Sean, and Ryan. So that's how
And
you
all
can.
like first
Yeah,
names.
they're all first names.
Dre, Sean, Ryan. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I just realized that. Holy
so,
crap. That's crazy.
uh, so, just a little bit about me.
You got
I
any announcements? What's up,
mm,
Nick? Yeah, what's good in your
was good
neck of
in
the
my hood.
yeah, and your hood as well. What like any cool
Your hood as well.
all of it. What's up with your coach?
Yo,
You got a
so
new course out?
I have a new the plug. Hey,
Yeah,
um, how
I
did
need the
how did,
freaking URL to your course. Hold on.
yo? I'm gonna
Yo, do an affiliate thing.
I am. So I just launched the course, DSR SEO Masterclass, which teaches you every single thing that you need to know about SEO. Had over 25 people go through the course. Most of them, I actually, all of them except for one person told me that it was the best SEO course that they've ever taken. The one person told me that it was one of the best SEO courses that they've ever taken, but they wish that I included something about web development in there. But I don't like you could get a web development course for that, but that's my brother. Um,
Wait,
but
how do I get to your what's the link again? It's not on your
courses
website.
courses.dreseanryan.com.
You need to have that on
Um,
your website and
yeah,
your
I'm gonna definitely add
IG
it.
bio. Okay, okay.
So so yeah, so like launch the course. It is now available. It costs $500. And Sin is gonna put it in the description below. But why you should, like, if you don't know by now, if you haven't been listening to our podcast, if you haven't been, tuning into my YouTube channel at at any point, this is why you should listen to me. um, I've worked with Fortune 50 companies. I've worked with companies like Amazon, Aetna, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and I've been doing SEO for the last 4 years, going on 5. And I've been able to get some really good results. You can read all about my backstory on my website, DreSeanRyan.com. I have a bunch of case studies as well. And overall, like, I'm just extremely passionate about what I do. So like with my course, like, you'll see that in the course. I'm always trying to get better. I'm always adding new things and updating it. So I really try to make it different. There's over 60 videos in the course. There's over 30 exercises in the course for you to actually start applying what you're learning. A lot of the problems with the courses on the market is that they show you how to do stuff, but they don't actually show you how to apply what you're learning. And I think that to really be good at SEO and just be good at marketing, you need to be able to apply it.
Fact.
So yeah, so like knowledge is cool, but if you don't know what you're doing, I know a lot of people that have the knowledge, but they've never applied it. So it's you have to apply it.
Apply your knowledge, homies. Some announcements on the channel. We're growing. We're growing rapidly. Get tuned. Stay tuned for more content, more high-end content. I'm going to bring out the DSLR. It's not going to be this crappy, crusty webcam anymore. We're going to up things up things up. Get ready for a new podcast episode released tomorrow. It's going to be a good one. It's all about how to get new clients or how to get a job. The art of the pitch, really.
Yeah,
Um,
it's about pitching yourself. It's about understanding, how to be different. It's about really just understanding really just what we how to, like, it's we talk about outbound and inbound, like we talk about like all these different like marketing strategies and all the increasing your perceived value. So there's a lot that you guys are going to hear.
a lot of
um
gems.
a lot of
Our
gems that
story as well, and how I'm going to talk about how I got my first client. Some really creative ways too, in which you could just go about getting clients, even pitching recruiters. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of value in that one. So stay tuned. Releasing tomorrow, or it's going to be released tomorrow. I'm going to throw in a link to our podcast in the chat.
and what's up, Nick? I didn't even see you there.
Nick, what's up, my guy? How are you doing? For the next
So
30 minutes, maybe less, Dre's got to leave soon, but we're going to answer some questions for you guys. And yeah, we're going to have some fun.
let's get it started. So one of the questions that Athena asked was,
Yeah.
how do you approach a new business prospect that doesn't know what services they want and want to see your services slash pricing? I'm gonna let you go ahead.
So, it's your job to get that information initially from the prospect. And I would not entertain a prospect, or as a strategist, you should never diagnose before even, or you should never prescribe rather before you can even diagnose. So you'd need to really assess what are their pain points. You need to ask the right questions initially, um, and figure out if it's worth it. Because the way you can position it and the way you can tell the prospect is that, it would be a disservice to you if I give you a set amount of pricing and things like that, when the reality is I don't know what exactly you need. Everyone has
Mhm.
a very unique set of problems which require a unique set of solutions, and that's how I run my business as a consultant. So, could you answer X, Y, and Z? I always get on a quick discovery call before with a client to diagnose, to figure out what exactly they have going on, and then I prescribe accordingly. They'll ask me questions and I'll give them a range. I'll start off with the range and I'll say it can anywhere cost anywhere between this and this, but that really depends on me peeking under the hood and seeing how much work needs to be done. So I would if they need a price, like I would give them a range and then give them that, kind of heads up like, hey, I don't know exactly where you need help with. And you should also be upfront and know what exactly you provide and what services you provide.
100%. I agree. Like, first off, the first question I'm asking them is, okay, well, like, how did you find me? Right? Like 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 that's the first thing I'm thinking. Like, if somebody comes to me,
True.
they want to know my services, like they want my services, but they don't really know what I it's just like, what, like, how did you find me? What made you interested in contacting me? What is the problem that you're having? It's really just like taking it back to, like, the basics and understanding what it is that this person is looking for. And if you can't help them, right, then you just tell them, like, hey, this is not what I focus on. I focus on X, Y, and Z. If you need help in your business in this way, then I can help you in this way. But if you don't, then whatever you might need, maybe I can refer you to somebody else, because you want to learn how to say no as well. Like, you don't want to just keep taking on people and trying to be a
I'm
jack of all
always ready to
trades.
say no.
Yeah, like, you don't want to be a jack of all trades, right? You want to be strategic. Because here's the thing: if you try to, let's say you try to give them some service that you don't really offer, right, and you can't fulfill that service properly, or you can't, like, get them the results that they're looking for, then that ultimately impacts your brand negatively. Because at the end of the day, this person had a bad experience with you, and they're going to tell people that, right? So the way I look at it is, don't put yourself out there like that if you know that there's no, like, if they don't even have clarity on what they want, or you need to assess more. So it's really just more about having the right questions to ask, knowing what questions to ask, and then asking them those questions that you've found.
There's a really good quote that I like. I don't know who said it, but I tweeted it once. So now it's my quote. Um, the quality of your life is dictated by the quality of the questions that you ask. So there's
That
something
is a
today,
fire quote.
right? Bow,
That's
bow,
a,
bow, 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 bow.
that's fire.
Yeah, I mean, like when there's always uncertainty, that means you're not asking enough questions. Generally
Hmm.
speaking, you need to be asking more questions. But there's something that Ryan Stewart today that Dre had an interview with Ryan Stewart, who's this SEO god, he's a business owner, couple of agencies, ton of shit. Um, something that he said, and it was, and I deeply resonated with it. And it's why I believe in anchoring your services so much, and why I think that the biggest disservice that you can do if you want to level up in your career is doing a little bit of everything.
Hmm.
I think that's horrible, that you're going to just stay a glorified virtual assistant essentially. But he said that, I think I wrote it down too. He said that when you are, it's important to not it's important to know what exactly that you provide, right? Right off the bat, so that you can qualify the prospect. You know exactly what you do. You're anchored in, you're specialized. Because the last thing you ever want to do is to have a prospect or client tell you what they need, or sorry, tell you how to do your job, or tell
Hmm.
you, I need you to do this at X, Y, and Z. Uh, with the balance between a client, or how do you call it? Like, I guess a strategist client relationship, right? Is that you
Hmm.
always want to be a couple steps ahead. That's why they hired you. And you want to be seen as a consultant. You want to be seen as someone that can provide them clarity and direction. So if they immediately start off by giving you clarity or direction, you're probably going to get paid less, and they're seeing you more as a worker than as a high end consultant,
Yep.
right? So if they're telling you, I need this X, Y, I need these services, I need help with my website, I actually need this, and then like these one-off tasks, it's your job to immediately say no and disqualify them, or it's your job to say like, here are other agencies that do what you're looking for, but I specialize in this one skill set.
That's exactly why, like, when people come to me like, "Hey, Drake, can you build me a website?" Like, I can, but I'm not, because that's not what I focus on. I'm not
At
spending
all.
my yeah, I'm not spending my time building somebody a website. Like, I'm just not gonna do that. Like, to me, when I was newer and I was learning and I was like trying to get my feet wet and I was just trying to get clients or something, maybe, but like, even if had I knew what I know now, I I probably wouldn't really. So the way I look at it is like now I'm just like, no, if you want SEO, cool. If you want like, if you need help with marketing, cool. If you want like a website, or you want me to like, do your like email marketing, I'll find somebody for you that could do your email marketing. I'm not gonna do that. Like I don't that's not what I do, like even though I'm good at it, like I'm really good at email marketing, because I would say that's probably my second best skill, like because I did it a lot. But like the thing is like I'm not, like I don't, it's not something that I enjoy doing. That's another thing. Like I want my work to be meaningful. I want to enjoy what I'm doing. I want to help you, but I don't want it to feel like I want to kill myself, right? Like I want it to feel like
Yeah.
I genuinely, I'm genuinely helping you. I'm genuinely trying to get you this result. So a lot of the times too, like when you have somebody like that, it's just you have to like ask those questions. You have to ask those important questions. You have to qualify more. You have to have those discovery calls, right? And
Yep.
that's really what it comes down to,
Yeah. The fact that you have that question means you didn't ask questions. And also,
right?
this is another thing that Ryan Stewart says, and I wrote it down. I don't know if this directly applies to this, right? But if you already knew what exactly you provided and you could just directly ask them that question, like, what is it that you need help with? I don't do that. Like, that would have been like a 2 second, like, that would have been solved immediately, right?
Yeah, that's
But
true.
it sounds like you're trying to, and I could be wrong because I'm assuming, but it sounds like you maybe be trying to offer multiple things. And if that is the case, Ryan Stewart said this: not specializing equals the client dictates what you do. And you never
Yep.
want to be in a position like that ever. You want to be
Yeah.
tell the client, I don't do that. Sorry. Here's, I offer this, whatever. That's like another great way where you easily very firm in what exactly you provide and to who. I provide, I scale e-commerce businesses through Google ads and Facebook ads and Snapchat and Bing, like I'm very specific on what I do.
Hmm.
So yeah, ask more questions.
Yo, yeah, ask us some questions. So what's one question I
No,
want to
I was
ask?
saying ask the person that asked needs to ask more questions. But yeah, you guys should ask more questions too. The 7 people watching, please
Yeah,
subscribe.
just start at, yeah,
Please like this
subscribe.
video and ask us some questions. You have like this really great dude here who's a SEO god. And I'm
The
not too
princess
shabby
of
myself.
advertising.
There we go. There we go.
Yo, so like,
You heard it from
so,
him, not from me. Okay.
so quick question. Like, I want to ask your opinion on this, right? Because like we have very similar views about a lot of stuff, and I would say like our views align with like how Seth Godin sees certain things, right? What do you like? And there's no right or wrong answer or whatever, but Amazon, right? Like Amazon is killing it. Amazon is everything for everyone, right? Not literally, but they have a lot of products on their website. In your opinion, right?
Mhm.
What do you think that why do you think that Amazon is winning? And do you think Amazon's going to win forever?
Yes. Amazon is absolutely winning. Amazon is taking over different verticals. Like Amazon is becoming the place where everyone buys. I buy everything off of Amazon. I'm working to support more small businesses. I'm very conscious and I try to be conscious, but it sucks that Amazon is so convenient with absolutely everything. Amazon dipped their toe into not just like being the person, the kind of go to for everything that you can possibly imagine. I buy like my skincare, everything, toilet paper. I buy everything on that. Um, Amazon now also branched into like pantry, like you can get your groceries there during the thick of the pandemic. I was using that. Um, Amazon now has streaming
But
services.
like that's so the reason why I'm asking is because I'm like, okay, that what Amazon is doing goes against every single rule, right? That like we really believe in, right? Which is like it's like they have a good service, but they're or they have like they have good service, and they have good products, but their products is like they have every product for every single person, right? And not everything. Like they
I
don't
see what
have
you're saying. Going
cars, they don't have
against like
car,
the niche, like the
right?
affordable and
So
advanced type thing.
yeah. So why do you think? Because here's the thing, like me personally, right? Like I buy things off of Amazon now, but I wasn't Like I'm a type of person where I go to a specific place for a specific thing. Like if I want to get a computer, I'm going to Micro Center or Best Buy. Like those are my go-to. If I want to get a golf club, I don't know where to get a golf club from. But like if I'm but if I want to get a basketball, I'm going to Models,
Amazon.
right? Right. True. But if I want to get a basketball, I'm going to Models, right?
Yeah.
So like, why do you think Amazon wins?
Well, Amazon, so Seth Godin gives that advice to people like you and me.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Godin is not necessarily giving that advice to like Elon Musk, like,
Mm-hmm.
or even then, I guess that advice could apply. But when it comes to Amazon, there's nuances to everything, right? And I think that when you're trying to become the next Walmart, or like it's a completely different strategy to go worldwide. Like you need a lot of capital initially. Like Amazon was unprofitable for how many years?
Yeah, long time.
Like so not everyone can afford to do that. That's just like way that's just way different. Like you can't apply Seth Godin's advice to like big pharma companies,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
it's just maybe you can, I don't know, but it's just like that advice is for people like you and I,
Mm-hmm.
small businesses, maybe, people like the brands that I work with. It doesn't apply to an Amazon. Amazon is taking over everywhere. And that's because Amazon has the funds to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon is, you should watch this YouTube documentary. It's kind of crazy. Amazon really is taking over. We're here to
Yeah, I
talk about
know
it. Yeah.
it's nuts. But do you ever think that, like, I don't know, like I feel like, okay, so how many notable like e-com stores are there right now? And like I when I'm like like I don't know, like I prefer. I feel like I can't wait to see what happens in the future. That's what I'm gonna say. I can't wait to see what happens in the future because I want to see like I just want to see where Amazon is gonna be 20 years from now. Oh, Karen's here.
Yeah. What's up, Karen? I'm going to give you an example really quick.
Mm-hmm.
How e-commerce is taking over simply because of how our shopping behaviors has changed. I'm bringing up a picture right now. It's on my phone. But my grandma's a huge she has one store that's her favorite store, and that's Lord and Taylor. Lord
Mm-hmm.
and Taylor sent a note today telling her that after September um 30th. Oh, that already passed. Like I guess she didn't send the I guess she didn't send she got the note a long time. Oh no, she got the note recently. November 24th. They said, okay, so we regret to inform you that your Lord and Taylor rewards program has ended effective September 30th, 2020. So like her rewards program is done. And that's because they filed chapter 11 reorganization, and we're currently working with some kind of their name, the Sadia Group LLC, some kind of group
Mm-hmm.
to transfer or to transform their stores to a completely digital experience. So they're taking the consumer retail brand as an online only brand now. That's where I mean that's where most people are moving into. E-commerce is becoming everything. Amazon has always, so here's the thing with e-commerce brands. A lot of people come to me, or they used to, well, I was working with Isaac's agency, like they had like a brand on Amazon, and they would come to like a paid media agency to start generating traffic directly, so they don't have to give Amazon a cut. It's like really important to diversify. I think you
Mm-hmm.
should be on Amazon, but you should also build your own brand. That's kind of like the crappy thing with having a brand on Amazon, and what a lot of brands are going to realize is that they need to work on developing their own kind of real estate.
Mm-hmm.
um that doesn't take away the importance of the sales that you do get from Amazon, and that might be some notoriety, but you want to, have your eggs in multiple baskets. It's never a wise choice. Like one of the telltale signs of a bad client for me in paid media is that they only rely on paid traffic
Mm-hmm.
as their only marketing engine. That to me, that means they're a horrible client. And it's been proven time and time again, simply because they don't actually know how marketing works. Like
Mm-hmm.
they don't actually, they're not with you to build a brand, and it's not cost effective for me to be with a client that doesn't care to build a brand, because that means that's a short-term client. And that's exactly what happened with my last client that I fired. Like
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were kind of building something else, but one of the biggest red flags, is that they only rely on paid traffic. You're not really you're not really building a brand. You don't
Mm-mm.
know anything about marketing, and you take a marketing course. That's not my fault. I
That's a fact. We got another question here. Thoughts on applying for an LLC before starting a digital marketing agency?
think it's a
What's
good
your
thought.
thoughts on that?
I think that's a great thought because your LLC. So I technically don't have an LLC. I have an S corp, which I'm looking
Hmm.
to transfer into an LLC. But my brother has an LLC, and I set that up for him. With an LLC, the longer that you have an LLC, the easier it is to get bank loans from the bank, because the longer
Hmm.
you have your LLC, it should, like if you had your LLC for 5 years versus me that opened one just now, the bank is going to be more likely to lend you money simply because you have more, I guess, time with it. I don't know. That's what I've heard from my accountant. One of the perks of that. And also you don't have to do quarterly taxes or anything like that if you're just a single member LLC. You pay your taxes just like a regular person.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you should just have one in general, like just protect yourself too. Like, you know,
Yeah, I
um,
think why not? If you can afford it, why not? It's not really that
exactly.
much
It's
money.
not that, yeah, it's not that expensive.
But I
It's
don't
like,
know, like $200 to some people is a lot of money, and that sucks if that's the case. All I gotta say.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Athena wrote, thanks. With the new local business, I like to make sure we cover based on GMB, G ads, Google Analytics. I usually work with businesses that are established. So, oh, I don't really muck with local businesses.
Same. I don't do any local like right now. And it's not like it's not a thing of like, oh, I don't like working with local businesses. It's just that for what I'm doing and for like just SEO, I just find that I enjoy working more with like medium to large size businesses as opposed to, and when I say really medium, because I don't like working with and I've seen this as a commonality amongst a lot of other like SEOs. Like even I was talking to Michael King about this, and he was telling me he feels the same way. Like he likes
Yeah,
working with medium sized businesses
same.
because like when they're too big, there's too many restrictions. There's too many things that you have to worry about.
Yeah, I don't
Like
like
I
corporate either.
yeah, like I worked with a Fortune 50 banking client, and I couldn't use the word bad on their website. Like there was
There's
just
so
certain
many like
things.
compliance issues. It's so annoying.
Yeah, it's like so many things that we had to do, and we first off, you can't really get them the best, especially with SEO, because like SEO, like they already have that authority and stuff of that nature, but to really get them the best results is kind of hard because of the limitations that they have, like the things that they can say, how they can word certain things, the terms that they can use on their pages, which dictates whether or not they're going to be able to even get visibility for something that they want to get visibility for,
That was the
right?
case for me in Chase. Like it was just like literally everything, the ads,
Yep.
everything had to go through like a million hoops, and it really pushed everything back. And I was just like, I hate working with corporate companies.
That's how I feel. Yeah. So
But like
like
the medium sizes, like you were saying, is the sweet spot for
it's
me.
a sweet, yeah. I don't like working with people that's too small because I have to like, like they might not have a developer
They need
and
too
then I
much
have to,
help that I
yeah,
can.
they and it's just yeah, it's too much. And it's like I want to focus on helping you, grow. And it's like I want you to be there already, like a relationship, right? Like 50-50. Like I want you to be there. I want to be there as well for you, but I want you to have something going on. I don't want to work with just, I mean, it's easier. Like I've worked with local businesses in the past, and
Same.
you can but here's the thing, you can get a local business that makes a decent amount of money, and they're there, and they have like enough money to cover certain things, but at the same time it's just like I just find it boring, especially like with SEO too in general, or like with like just doing marketing in general for a local business is boring to me. Like I want to I want to reach the mass market. Like I want to like compete at a national level. I don't want to compete just, on a local level cuz it's it's easier for me, and so like I like to challenge myself.
On a paid front, if I'm honestly, like if I'm spending under 20K per month, there's only a limited amount of things that I can test. So I
Mhm.
can't really have fun with it,
Mhm.
honestly.
Mhm.
Um So I can't really get creative. I think that also you were saying before with local businesses, like I don't mind working with local businesses or smaller e-commerce agencies, but with them I do like one-off or have a consulting package between 3 to 4 kind of consults. They pick accordingly, and I kind of direct them or send them in the right direction, give them checklists, things like that. This is what you need to do. I can't manage them or like have some kind of management fee because there's always scope creep with them. There's always scope creep with any kind of client that one doesn't know marketing, and two, um they just need so much help with so many different things, you know. So
Right.
I think everyone needs to be there. Everyone needs to do that. I feel like it kind of helped, like when you start from the ground up. If you're not doing it from for yourself, like if you help out a local business, like it feels really good. It's really rewarding, but
Mhm.
it's one of those things where I think consults are much more easier to sell. I would never do management. It's just hard. It's
Right. Yeah.
they need website help, they need SEO help, they need everything. They too many like systems need to be set initially, and I can't actually get to the work that I'm actually good at.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%. That's exactly how I feel. It's like we always say, like there's nuances to every business, like with larger businesses, there's gonna be some restrictions, like the legal restrictions that we spoke about, and there's gonna be like, they might have like a good brand equity to rank on Google, whatever, but like you can't make certain changes, right? So like, but with a smaller business, they might not have a development team, they might not have all this stuff, but what they might have is the ability to just do, like, you can try and test whatever you want. So like if you're a beginner, it might be better for you, but like my main point is, as you I don't know, I just found like as I got more advanced in my career, I just got bored. I got bored. Like honestly, I got bored. Like
Same.
honestly, that's
No,
I just got
me
bored
too.
of it.
Yeah, I get bored of it. There's a really good question in here by Brandon saying, "What's up, Brandon?" He asks, so I'm going to ask you this first. So for you, it would be the content piece, but how do you go about content slash ad creative for your agency, outsource or the client's responsible? So I guess in your case, it would be like content for like on
Yeah,
page, and
yeah,
link.
yeah. So it depends, right? So that's the regular SEO answer. But like if they have someone who's in house, which most every client that I work with, that I have worked with for the last maybe 2 years, has always had like a marketing team or like a copywriter or somebody on board that can do everything. So I wouldn't, because I also try to avoid outsourcing stuff as well. Like I rather tell them like, hey, we can bring somebody on board, you can hire someone and have them in-house, because I want that person to really understand your brand. Like I want that person to really understand your brand voice. I want that person to really be able to connect with your readers. And I think that just if you're in-house, it's much easier for you to be able to educate that internal staff than it is for you to educate a contractor, because a contractor has like so many other things that they have to focus on. They're writing for multiple companies, and there are certain scenarios where people can adjust and can adapt. But what I've seen, like you'll always have somebody who's internal that really understands your business and understands what you're looking to accomplish, that you're meeting with on a daily basis. It's always going to be better for them to write that content, in my opinion. So as far as like, it depends. Like if the client 100%, and sometimes like, they'll have an internal team, and then like like one of my clients, he's very involved in his business, and even though he has a writer, he also looks at her content, like he reads her content, because he wants to make sure that the content has the best information possible. So I don't really like outsourcing content creation, because I feel like too many people, but if I have to, obviously, like if they just want to and they don't have the time, and I'll find a writer. Like one of the writers that I've hired multiple times in the past is Reese McKay. He's such a great writer. Like he's such a great writer. I hired him for like insurance stuff. I hired him for like, you know, like I hired him for so many different things that is crazy. Like I can't list everything off right now, but like I think I hired him for like SEO stuff before. Like I hired him for so many different things.
Mhm.
But he's just like he's a good writer. And so like I have if in the event that I need to outsource something, I have somebody who I trust that I can go to. And I understand like his rates, he's expensive. Like he's not cheap. He's not cheap. Like he's a pretty penny, but he's worth every cent, because he's so good. So if you're trying to get the best results possible, then I would say 100%. Like, I don't really recommend outsourcing, but like if yeah, at least from the SEO perspective, but if there's just no way around it, then there's no way around it. If you need to hire someone, if you need to get a contractor, then get a contractor, outsource it, but don't go outsource it on like some like some crappy, like what's one of the crappy websites that people use, like
Fiverr, Upwork.
Fiverr, Upwork, and like there's like this one in particular I'm thinking of, iWriter. Like, don't go to iWriter.com and say, oh, I can pay like, like I could get like 6,000 words for like $10. Like, don't do that,
Yeah.
because you're just gonna make the quality is gonna be terrible. So
Yeah. So for me, when it comes to ad creative, one of my really like my leg up essentially is the fact that I can design landing pages. I have like a web design background and I can actually make my own ad creatives. However, I position this to the client that I do not handle any creatives. And then I'm heavily relying on your team to produce these creatives while I can provide creative direction specifically for advertising. It just so happens that I do a lot more, but that's all in the spirit of under promising, over delivering. So when it also with the kind of clients that I work with, I only work with people that have a creative team that can handle this, a trusted
yep.
creative team. They have a content, they have a content calendar. They are developing content for social media and things like that. So a lot of times I can repurpose that for advertising, and I just I create my own ads using things like Canva. I do a lot of custom stuff on Photoshop. I really love designing, and I love to like wow my clients and blow them away. And that's just like my special sauce. That's something I used to do a lot in my old agency as well, with landing pages and with advertising. But I tell them I don't provide that initially from the jump,
Mhm.
and that I heavily rely on their team. But I do have to provide a lot of creative direction, and I enjoy doing that. And I think that's another unique set of skills to do that. And that's where like Melinda's brand strategy bootcamp really helped me to do that.
Mhm.
Athena says, true. That's why I'm not aggressive with this prospect. It was a one-time service and they want ongoing now. I appreciate you guys. To be honest, I don't think it's worth my time, just easy money. I think, Athena, what you can try doing is something that Dre and I do all the time is have connections with another media buyer or whatever it is you're providing, and work out a finder's fee, and, off it to someone else and collect that finder's fee. We do that a lot. So
Yep.
that's just another way, you can look to make some money from it. Leverage your network always. And to go back to that other question, like with outsourcing and things like that, I always outsource with my immediate network. And I always test the freelancers that I work with first with my personal projects. And I do
Mhm.
not like I'll use Fiverr for like YouTube stuff and things like that. Like I've done it. Um, but I prefer using people that I can work with. I'd rather pay more initially and like train them over time. People like I can trust, and I have a pretty robust network, and I'm also training a lot of people to do what I provide. So it's like I'm building, So
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Gotta build. And yeah, 100%. Like, if I need, like, for example, like if I need a paid media person, and then I don't feel like I'm just, I got Sin. Like, hey Sin, come, can you do this for me? Like,
Gotcha.
it's just like, and also like respecting that person, like not just like saying, hey, can you do this for me for free? Like, no, like my client is gonna pay you to do this. Is this something that you want to do? Like, do you want to take this on? And so it's important to like have that network of people, really, and make sure that you network with people that have a skill that is valuable, that you just don't have. Like, you just, or you, maybe you have it, but you just, that's not your main skill. That's not your main expertise. You know what I mean? Like, it's really important to be connected to great people. I have my cousin, he's a designer. Like, he's a great designer. Like, he's designed for like Pepsi and all these big companies. If I need a designer, I could just literally hit up my cousin. Like, like if I need a, like Cynthia's brother is like a coding expert. Like,
Yeah.
if I need somebody to code something for me, I just,
Harry's working with him. I told you that, right?
yeah, you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you know, it sounds like such cliche advice because everybody says like your network is the most powerful, but it's the truth. Like
It's
having a,
there's no way around it. Like
it's so important, So, but yeah,
I
Athena, I think I'm just gonna say one more thing. I think that that yeah, if you feel like it's not worth your time, then just d- don't do it. Like don't take on a project that you feel like is not worth your time. Like every because then if you feel like that, if that's your mindset right now, that this project is not worth your time, then do you think that you're gonna give it your 100%?
yeah,
And you want to give your 100% on every single project, and that's what I try to do. I try to give my 100%. Like so yeah, that's my advice.
same. I would say to get like there's still a way to get, especially if they really want to work with you that badly, like get a referral fee, offload it to someone that you could trust, that is maybe not at the same level as where you're at. Offload it to them, get that referral fee. I usually work at a percentage with other media buyers of the first month's management fee, the first month management fee. Or you can try like, okay, so you're unsure if they're worth it, right? What I try to do with clients like that, there's always a price in mind to make it worth it, to be honest. Like you add in the PETA tax, pain in the ass tax. What is it? Pain in the ass
Yeah,
tax. Like
that's it. That's it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, PETA tax. So, like I'll shoot my shot. Like I don't really care to do this, but if they pay me like 10K, I'll think about it. Like just something to keep in mind because we're in the business of business. So I do that all the time. I pitch opportunities and like just to test new things. And if I like a lot of times, like I won't necessarily like the prospect, but I'm just like, I might like you if you pay me 10K.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Um uh Brendan
Questions, guys.
Lang. Thank you both. Currently working at an ad agency at the moment and trying to start my own freelance/digital agency. Great advice. Yeah, no problem, Brendan.
No
Keep
problem, man.
asking us some questions. We've been there, done that. Athena says that's so interesting. We'll look into that. Yeah, girl, get your money. Get your money. I think I have some questions here. Let's check. Damn, I think like shit. Like I threw up like a question thingy on Instagram like a while back, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna save these questions, right?
Mhm.
They're lost in the abyss.
Damn, I don't have
They're
guys.
lost in
Just
the
start
abyss.
ask
Oh,
more
yo,
questions.
can you? There's 6 of you watching now. Smash that like button. Please
Yes,
subscribe. We're
yes.
here. Like help us out here. Help us out. Follow Dre and like my stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks. I
Yo,
have a
so
question for someone asked in actually our Slack group. I was hoping that you'd answer that because that was your client. And I was like, bro, if you want to work with me, you got to pay me. But um I can answer it now because why not?
where's the question?
On the Slack group on the questions, it was by Chris. His last name starts with an L. I don't want to put him on blast.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So he was like, what's the best way to charge client for PPC services? Just want to say that that's why people hire me to figure that out. But I'll give you I'll give you some free advice here. There are many different ways to charge for PPC, right? It depends on where you're at. Now, there is a variation where you can charge just um, a management fee, a flat out management fee based on how much they're spending. Though you can have a spend bracket. So between not zero, between 5K and like 10K, you charge X amount between X amount. So I do a combination of that. And I also do a combination of percentage of spend. I think percentage of spend, you have to be really, really strategic on how you do that because there can be a lot of distrust initially. Because they're going to think like the more you spend, oh, you're just spending more to make more money. So you really need to build a lot of trust there. And then you also need to make sure that you understand their profit margins and that you hit a certain ROAS. I think the best way is to figure out um, a revenue share, some kind of revenue share, so that you can both eat. And that's kind of a situation that I'm working with the current client, the one that's paying me the most, where we split revenue like after you're already profitable. So from that point, after, in their case, it's 4x, we split that revenue afterwards and a certain percentage. So that's a rev share that gets more complicated. Or you could do some kind of hybrid where you have a baseline management fee plus a percentage of spend. Like I said, that might be nice. I never recommend hourly, just because initially there's a lot of upfront work, which is why people charge for onboarding fees. Like I charge 1,200 for just onboarding, just to, or setup fee rather, because it takes a lot of time to set up conversion tracking and things like that. So if you're initially starting off, maybe hourly would make sense, but I'm a big proponent of the other three that I just presented to you. Management fee based on a spend bracket, management fee hybrid with a percentage, and then a revenue share, which is, that one's a little harder to pitch. I would recommend you to test that out. It's hard to pitch, and I think that it'll only make you a better professional and advertiser. I hope he's watching right now.
I don't think he's watching, but
I'm gonna direct him to the video then.
I'm trying to see if like there's anything else in there.
Did anyone ask you any other questions?
No.
I got a question for you, Nan. I got a question for you. Okay,
Let's go.
so you're a SEO god. You're a
Mhm.
consultant now. You're doing, building your personal brand. You're building out courses, things like that. What would you say is the hardest thing in this new kind of territory where you're leveling up as a consultant, leveling up? You're not so much a technician, but you're a strategist. What's the hardest part right now?
Organization. Because I'm organized, like, but I'm not organized. Like I'm organized in certain areas, but I'm sloppy in other areas. And it's like trying to, pull that all together is what I would say is probably my biggest challenge right now. Mainly because like it's one of those things where like I will organize stuff. Like I will have everything written out. I will have everything. I'll have the like if you look at I have like a project management system where I have a solid process and all this
It's
other
just
stuff, right?
upkeep, right?
It's like I will see this and then I'll be like, I want to do this instead today. And like my brain, like I'll see all this stuff on like, oh, I gotta get this done, this done. And I'm like, yeah, but I want to make this cool deck for my YouTube channel about X, Y, and Z. So then like I'll have everything organized and ready to go, and then I'll just get sidetracked. And this actually has been happening a lot with my like my video editor is probably like annoyed right now because like I
Same.
literally yeah, I literally was like, I had this,
Whoa,
we have this whole thing planned out in ClickUp, and we know exactly what we're gonna do, and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, yo, I want to do this new series on my YouTube channel. I want to do this, and I was like, build me for it. Like, how, like just build me. I just want to start recording, and then I just started recording it, and then I was like, damn, like I'm getting too lost in the I'm getting too lost in the. It's fun though. Like it's fun. I'm having a lot of fun, but a lot of the times, like I need to like take a step back, reprioritize, and say, look, the ADHD in me wants to do this thing, right? But I need to focus on this because this is more important. So like I guess I am organized, but I'm just like so spontaneous. Like every day is something new. Like I want to do something else. I want to do something better. And I have this thing of like, how I am. Like I just wake up and I have like this vision. Like I have a vision, and then I'm just so like when I have that vision in that moment, I'm just so passionate about it that I just want to chase it. So I think that is like the biggest challenge for me is just keeping myself um like keeping myself on task and not really like losing sight. It's not like I'm losing sight necessarily. Like I always say, like, yeah, I'll get back to it, and then
Mhm.
I eventually get back to it. But it's just like in that moment, like once I have this idea that I'm just like I need to execute on, it's like
Mhm.
I'll think about it, I'll write it down, and then I'll just like yesterday. Here's a perfect example. Yesterday, I'm like, yo, I want to have this series, Dre, Sean, Ryan, Uncut out of nowhere, right? Like I'm like Dre Sean Ryan Uncut. I want to do this. It's gonna be no editing. I'm gonna be talking. I'm gonna be ranting. I'm gonna be doing this, doing that. So then I just sat down and I'm like, okay. I hit up my video editor. Yo, this is what we're doing now. Bill me for it. I'll pay you on top of what I've already paid you. And then like then I just started recording videos like nonstop. Like I just started recording videos of this like Drayshawn Ryan uncut. Like I have like maybe like 5 videos that I recorded, just recording. And then afterwards I was just like, damn, like these videos are like 20 minutes a piece. I have a lot of content now, but like look how much time I just like it's not wasted time because I'm gonna use it, but
Yeah.
like
Is that the biggest priority?
no, it's
Yeah.
not exactly. So
You
I
know what I'm
think
going to recommend to you?
what
I think you already know. I've already told you. You need to hire Loren. You need an executive assistant to keep you on track with things. And like when there is a new, so whenever I think it's extremely important to have these ideas because you are the visionary of your business. Your
Mhm,
visions will lead to its overall growth, right?
mhm,
So that means you need to offload more things, more day-to-day stuff, right?
mhm,
But you need someone that can help you at least prior, like you should be able to have, so we have these bi-weekly brainstorms where I have her and I'm gonna have my brother start attending these as well, or we pitch ways in which we can grow the business and I present my ideas and things like that. And then overall we just prioritize. Okay, so this has to be done first, and then this like things like that, blah 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 blah. So like biz stuff, biz dev stuff. So whenever I have a new idea, like I lead it, like I feed it, I let it happen, but then I have to add it to like an ideas list, right?
mhm,
And then
mhm,
look at which ideas are priority, like, and Loren helps me do that. And
mhm,
so you need to, obviously you need to have you need to be able to have the vision to understand where all of these different things can lead you to. And then you also need to make executive, like I made that executive decision to fire that client so I could focus more on content, right?
mhm,
You need to be able to make these drastic and fast pivots. So you just need someone to hold you accountable and have a space where you can like a space simply dedicated for your random ideas. This is what's going to happen. We're going to do this. How do we make it happen? And then
mhm,
have someone kind of help you execute it along the way and help you even get out of your head for a second and reprioritize based on everything that's going on. And you can even do that for yourself. I've done it for myself as well, but it's just so much more effective to have
we
someone
just
else
get
hold
somebody.
you accountable for that, which is why I think, like whatever I pay her, it's like absolutely it's the best investment, one of the best investments like that
Mhm,
and Terry that I've made. And also just like with the video editor and getting him involved with brainstorming ideas too. And like I'm gonna have him, we're all gonna have like a brainstorm idea, and I'm obviously gonna pay them for their time,
mhm,
like because I value that more than anything. I value, like, this is why you and I like freaking click so well, because we spitball ideas all the time.
yeah, mhm,
I'll knock them down and bring them down to reality for yours, and then you do the same for mine. Or
mhm,
in fact, you give me more ideas a lot of the time, but then I have to
mhm,
be like, what's priority? What, like
mhm,
I think I'm more inclined to knock things down, whereas you're
mhm,
more inclined to like build and think bigger, which is something that you should
mhm.
nourish, right?
That's true.
I think that's the thing that's gonna that has, if you looked in the past, has propelled you forward because you have the balls to think about new things and execute.
the
It's
the
the
huts
truth. The huts
the
can't
chutzpah.
say it. The chutzpah. The
Hus-
chutzpah.
the huts the chutzpah. All
No,
right, I
man,
can't
don't
say
hurt
it.
yourself. Don't hurt
Nah,
yourself.
but you nah, yo, honestly, like, nah, you're
That's
right.
your biggest
Like
strength. Like, let's be real. That's your biggest strength. Your ability to think
facts.
big.
I wake up every day with like a new, just like this.
Yeah.
It's just like
And then you have me to knock you down.
word. Well, hey, you and
I,
Chris.
I do. Yeah, I do that. That's
You,
why I need people like you to give me and Andy to give me ideas, because I try sometimes, like I sit too much in the left side and then I sit too much on the right side, so I'm always trying to balance it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, Sin, do it. And you're like,
That's not
oh, wait,
essentially the
man, wait.
biggest problem. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't mean like I don't take risks. I think I take
No, you
risks
do,
a
you
lot.
do,
I
you
just like to
do.
think about it a little bit more.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
at the
for
same
sure.
time, you need to understand that like that right there is your biggest strength, and you should lean into it and start offloading all the bullshit tasks that you don't need to do. 'Cause
Now you have a point. You have a point.
that's where
You
you
know
shine.
what?
That's where you
I
feel
might.
like you love. Like you need to hire.
Damn.
You say you're gonna hire your cousin. Like do it. Hire Loren. I already got her in a system. Like she's good.
Damn.
Hire her. She's mad
It's
dope.
hard
Do
because, like,
both.
I promised. I don't know.
I know. I know. I
Look,
know.
look, look. Yo, shoot me her information,
Yeah.
right?
Or what you
And
could do is have her maybe like like see how you work with Loren, and she can kind
Mhm.
of like take notes and just tell her like, listen, this is just something that I need for a month or two
Mhm.
months. I just need help building out these systems, and then from there, like that, and we're done. You really
Shoot,
gonna-
shoot me
Yeah,
her info.
yeah,
Lorraine,
I will. Someone asked you, but I'm gonna ask this one, Brandon.
someone
Sorry,
asked me.
someone asked you another question, but
Okay.
Brandon asked what systems. Also, if you have to go, like, give me a heads up.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna jump off in like 10 minutes.
Okay, no problem. What systems would you recommend being a priority when first starting your agency? We're figuring that shit out right now, bro.
Yeah, word. Like, so I'm not starting an agency, but I think one of the most important systems is, I think it's like your, in my opinion, I think a important system is like having a proper like onboarding and also um I think the two things that I think is really important is your sales system and your onboarding system, in my opinion. Because at the end of the day, like especially onboarding, because onboarding is the time where you're setting expectations, you're doing all this stuff, you're talking to the client, you're getting them acquainted, you know, it's so much that you're doing. And I think it's very important to have, but it's also something that, there's a lot of things that you can turn into a system. And I haven't tested every single thing that you can turn into a system yet. Like I'm not, like it's a lot of stuff to learn, and
Mhm.
so um I think if you want to learn more about like systems at a very like advanced level from someone who literally like that's literally all they do is create systems, is like Ryan Stewart. Like
Yeah.
Ryan Stewart, that's all he does. Like that's why he can work 2 hours I think he said like 2 hours a week on his or 2 hours a month on his agency or something like that,
Mhm.
because like he has it so down pat. You can even see in his life. You can even see his life. Like I'm like, hey man, how do you find time to do all this stuff? You record videos, you record courses, you're doing all this stuff, and he's just like, organization. Like like I have all this stuff. He has all this stuff planned out to a T. He has a system for everything in his life.
I think Ryan Stewart has like he's really great with systems, right? But I think
Yeah.
he's like the systems that you develop for SEO, and I know this because we work together so closely, are pretty different with PPC. Like they're a little bit more nuanced just because the line of work is different. Like it's in the same realm, but like if you really want to do it well, there's a couple more nuances. So I would say if you're it depends. I think Ryan Stewart is great to develop systems overall. Also, Chris Doe, like business systems and seeing yourself as a business as well. I agree with Dre, like the best systems that you need to develop when you're starting off your agency. Cause I'm actually building an agent, like a boutique agency where we're maxing out at 10 clients. I don't want anything more, but the clients that I'm working with, the spend needs to be 100K and up per month. But, that's a very unique, very, very niched. So, sales is important. What Dre said. You need a sales
Mhm.
system for sure. You need an outbound strategy and an inbound strategy. And then you also need like how you're closing them, like the actual process of sales. You need strategies for all of that. Then onboarding. Onboarding is something that I take so seriously, and I have many systems in place for that. I have ma- one of the things that I noticed with working with a more smaller agency is that they don't know which things, like it could take so long to get certain access to things, but when you have it clear and in your face, it's perfect. Like when you have everything up front with onboarding, you set yourself up for a great client relationship. So that's why I put
Mhm.
so much emphasis on onboarding, especially because I want that client to be a partner of mine for 3 years plus. Then there's not just, so Dre mentioned those two, right? But I also think an additional one is client management. Having a solid communication cadence, a reporting cadence, strategy calls, with the advancement of automation and machine learning, a lot of my calls and a lot of my interactions with the clients are more like, how can we grow your business overall? Because these systems are already jam packed or down, like we have everything, all of our campaigns are running smoothly. So what are some other areas in which we can optimize in order to support our campaigns? What are some more creative ideas that we can um run some really interesting promotional strategies. I spend a lot of my time doing that, especially because of Q4. So, you know, I would say those three, like sales, onboarding, and then client management.
Yeah, 100% agree.
And this is what I work with. I work on this with managers, with marketers, specifically in paid media. I give them all those systems so that they can then implement themselves, and I advise them to tweak accordingly. Um, Evan has a
So
question for you. You gonna
he
read it?
says, yeah, he says, who are in, I guess, who is in your chorus? Are they freelancers that already have clients? Are they people who just started to freelance?
I think he's
So,
asking who's in your coaching program. You think? Because no one's in a
uh,
course. It's just you in the course in your face.
maybe Evan, please clarify that. If you're asking me
Yeah.
if you're asking me about coaching, yeah, it's people who it's a mixture, right? It's like most of the people who I'm coaching, they do want to have like they want to start their own business. Like they want to be a freelancer and then transition into starting an agency. So like for example, one of the people actually I'm not going to say his name, but one of my coaching, clients, we were like all we've spent time on was like his processes, his sales skills, his like everything that's going to be important for him to grow a business because right now he works a job, right? He works like he's in a SEO/SEM agency
Mhm.
and he's learning, he's learning a lot from being there, but he's also just like so focused on having the systems in place so that by the time he comes out of that job, he has a machine that's running, right? He has a machine that's running with the processes that he and the systems that he put in place for his agency. So it really depends. It's like some people, some I have another person who just wants to be a freelancer who wants to know like how do I get clients? Majority of these people are like more like freelancer slash want to start an agency. And then I have some people who just want a job. Like I have some people who just like, hey, I want to get a job in this field and blah 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 blah. But I'm kind of moving away from the whole job thing. Like I'm not really
Same. Yeah.
working with people who want a job because realistically, the way that I think, um, like this is my personal philosophy. Like I truly believe that when you go to a job, look, I think that you can learn a lot at a job, right? I just think that a job is like because everybody has a system, because everybody like because you're gonna learn the system that the job has put in place for you. It can be kind of limiting because like I've seen certain people who have gone into job opportunity, gone into job like job positions and they had no experience and the only thing they learned was what they were shown on the job. And because of that, like and because like for me, for example, before going into a job, I had clients, I was freelancing and whatever. So I kind of like had an idea of like what I needed to do and how I could do stuff and like I got better over time just by myself. So that now when I got into this job and I saw this job doing this thing this specific way, and I'm like, well, this is outdated. This doesn't work. This is not the way that this should be. I started finding like all of these flaws. And I'm not saying that that's gonna happen in every single scenario, but I just truly believe that the way that at least I think the way that I learned the most, I don't think I learned the most from a job because I never went into a job like every job that I've ever went into, I just always just propelled myself to learn on my own or I was just better than people. Like
Same.
honestly, the last job that I left was the best job that I've ever been in. The last one that I left. But before that, every single like the last job that I left, I could say that there were people there that were literally on my level, like for real. But every other job that I was at before, it's like I had to be the innovator. I had to think about this. I mean, like we even spoke about this like in the we have like a video from like 2 years ago. I don't know if I recorded it in this video, but like I have a video and I had one of my colleagues, his name is Diego, and we used to work at the same agency. And he literally was saying like how like literally I was on the best team in the entire agency and I was the best on the entire agency. I was better than my manager. She was mad because I was better than her because I had experience that I brought in to the workplace. So moral of the story is that that's why I wholeheartedly believe in just freelancing or starting your own business, because you can create, like, there's a lot you have to learn. But I just feel like when you learn on your own, you have like you can have your creative freedom. I
Yeah.
do not work well in a place where I can't have creative freedom. Like if I look at all the trends of jobs, like I have a good track record with my jobs, right? Like I've never been fired, I've never had a real issue, but all the jobs that I was extremely frustrated with were jobs where I didn't have no creative freedom. If I don't have creative freedom, I can't work how I want to work. Like it
Right.
just doesn't work for me. So like so that's why I always encourage people to just do their own thing, because like you might not think it initially, but you'll probably get further really on your own, and then hiring coaches and people to help you. Like that's why I think it's beneficial to have a coach, right? Like if I started when I started in digital marketing, if I hired a coach, like if I hired someone to help me,
I wish I did that.
yeah, like I would have been so like if I would have hired someone to help me from the beginning of just like,
I
okay,
would have saved a lot of time and energy and money.
I would have saved so much.
But that's literally why we do what we do. I
Exactly.
literally saw an opportunity, well, not necessarily an opportunity. I think you and I started around the same time simply because we were just being everything that we wish we had starting. Like I wish I could have real world experience working on other accounts, so then I provide that for my coaching clients so that they can pitch to other, to get their own clients and live a life of freedom. And that's exactly what Dre does as well with SEO. So
Hmm.
for me, like I have a very similar, like I call it a three-pronged approach, where we're working on leveling up your skills, right? We're working on building your brand, your perceived value, and then we're also working on your professional skills, which is like your communication skills, you just overall your sales skills, like, and also your networking, because Dre and I both have a Slack channel where both of our clients interact, and like they can offload certain clients to other people. See, like there's just so much going on, and the networking and just being the best way to immerse yourself into a field is to network and just like fully, you want to have friend like. I think the reason why we've gone super far is simply because we know each other, and like
Yeah,
all of the
facts.
connections that we have as well. So that's like, we're literally, with Dre's program and with my program, the goal is to create everything that we wish we had.
Exactly.
It's why I try to be like the person that I am. I want to be the person that I wish I had
That
growing
you
up.
had. Yep.
Yeah. Like
100%.
that's what I need so much more.
And that's why like that's why like it's that stuff is important, man. Like
I
it's just
agree.
crucial. It's just very crucial. So um hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah.
Uh
Let's close up. I know you have to head out, but
yeah, plus I'm kind of
any
tired.
yeah, any final words?
Um final words. Um I want to make this as impactful as possible. I want to say I want to try to do some Seth Godin stuff right now,
Let's do
right?
it. Let's do it.
So, if you are at a point in your career where first off, if you have two things, if you have not started your career yet and you're trying to level up and you're trying to learn the skills and you're trying to do all this stuff and you're watching all this free information online and you're just trying to learn from these people, the reality of it is that a lot, especially in the SEO industry, a lot of the people in the SEO industry are like example, I love Neil Patel. Love Neil Patel. But Neil Patel says, hey, if you want to go do link building, send somebody an email. All right. Just go find somebody, some random person, send them an email. And after you send them an email, they'll respond to you. And you just say, hey, can you give me a link? And then they're going to give you a link. Right. Here's the thing. They'll do that for Neil Patel. He's Neil Patel. They're probably not going to do that for you because they don't know you. You don't have a brand yet, right? So the advice that you're taking from these people that are telling you like these specific tactics, they don't really talk about how it is extremely like it's like a extremely personalized approach, I would say, because it only applies to them. Like if I go reach out to somebody from HubSpot and say, hey, can you feature me in this article? I'm not going to get a response right now, right? Or who knows, maybe I might. But I have a lower chance of that than Neil Patel does. So like all of the tactics that you're learning from all these people, um it's really just hard to apply it to yourself. That's the first thing. The second thing is you honestly need to have a person who is like-minded like yourself, that is in a position that you want to be in, and you need a mentor. Like you need somebody to help you get to the next level. I'm not saying this just to pitch my service or Cynthia's service. I'm saying this because like we said, I genuinely wish that when I started, I had someone who was me for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like like where I'm at right now, I wish I had me for me, because if I had me for me, I would have been able to get so much further. So if you're at a point in your career where you're on the fence and you know you want to do something, just do it. Like don't over like think about it, make sure you have the money to invest, make sure you have everything that you need to really, be okay. But it's not gonna hurt you. Like I've bought programs where I knew everything in the program except for one thing, and like or like
That
that
alone made it
1%
so
made
worth
us
it.
so different, right? Like it made it so different. So that's my closing words.
Those are pretty powerful closing words. I think I would just add on to everything Dre said. Like legit, like invest in yourself, and it's not necessarily whatever I provide, but there's a ton of great courses out there. Whatever you're trying to do, invest in yourself, not just money wise, energy wise.
Mhm.
Um, take risks, take the leap. If you want to do something, just do it. There's, just do it. And just like some main themes from this overall live stream is like the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your questions. Always be curious, lead with a curious mindset. And what was the other one?
um ADHD.
The other one is
I was I
just
was
do it.
lost.
Just do it.
Yeah,
Just
just
do
do
it.
it. Just do it.
Just take the power of networking and the power of mentorship. There you go.
There you go.
All
So
right, guys.
guys, thanks for watching. Um
Subscribe, like this live stream. Subscribe. Follow Dre if you're
subscribe,
not following him.
follow me.
Um,
Dre Sean Ryan.
YouTube
DR.
slash YouTube.com/slash Dre Sean Ryan.
Yep.
There you go.
YouTube.com/C/Dre
Oh,
Sean Ryan.
let me put it.
There we go.
YouTube.com/C/Dre Sean Ryan.
Ryan. Hey, Sin is hooking it up.
You gotta plug your friends. And
That's
yeah,
why
guys.
you need a
Oh,
network.
subscribe. Yeah, you got a network. Like what are you doing, man?
Oh, the
Subscribe to our podcast.
yes channel. How we talking about everything except for that?
Oh my god, there's 5
All right,
people
wait.
watching right now. You got to check out our podcast. It's Fuego. We're releasing a new episode tomorrow. I'm gonna throw it in the chat one more time. And I hope you guys have a really great night. Happy Monday. Follow your dreams. Don't drink and drive. Love you all.
Don't drink and drive.
Don't do that. All right. Bye,
All
guys.
right,
Bye,
guys.
Dre.
Bye.
Take care. Go take a
Hey.
nap. Bye.
Yeah, I am.